Anything can happen when you're alone in the dark.
And now, here to entertain you all, because every day he's hustling. Side Hustle Cinema.
Welcome back to the channel, Side Hustle Cinema here, and today we are going to be reviewing Scream Factory's one of their newest releases, Alone in the Dark, which I watched Alone in the Dark. This movie came out in 1982, and Scream Factory just put out this new 2K scan of the movie, and for me it was a first time watch. This review will be spoiler free. I won't give away anything that would make you not be able to get the full advantage of this movie. My job is just to hype you up for it, because it was a pretty good movie. And yeah, you'll have to watch it for yourself to find out everything that happens. So let's get into it. But first, as always, if you guys enjoy movie reviews, if you like movie news, physical media, collectibles, shopping trips, Blu-ray hauls, all kinds of things. It's a variety channel, all things movies. Hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. It really helps out. And if you want to comment about anything that we talk about during the video, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Yeah, let's get into it. Are you alone in the dark? Spooky. I wanted to pick this one up just from reading the plot and seeing who all was in it. I was kind of sold on this one. It stars Donald Pleasence. You got Jack Palance in it, Martin Landau, and Dwight Schultz. He's really the main actor in this one. Unknown guy, but he did a great job as Dr. Dan Potter. And this movie either came out in November 12th of 82 or November 19th of 82. I've got conflicting reports from two different places. That one says one, the other says the other. Doesn't really matter. I don't think it had a very wide release at the box office, because I checked the charts and didn't see it anywhere on the charts for either of those 2 weeks. We had Creepshow at number 1, Rambo First Blood number 2, and E.T. was like on its 22nd week, on the charts at number 3. 1982 was a good year for movies. This was New Line Cinema's first movie production that they've done. Before this, they had just been a distributor of movies. They hadn't actually produced one yet. And they got a fairly new director in Jack Sholder to be the director of this movie. He also co-wrote this movie and had just came off editing The Burning when he got this job. Now, this movie was originally pitched as a bunch of psychopaths that escaped from a New York sanitarium in the city and are rounded up by the mafia. But New Line said that would be way too expensive to produce, that they couldn't shoot in New York, and so they shot it as a home invasion thriller in a little bit of a smaller town, and got rid of the whole mafia thing. But it did kind of sound cool. The movie ended up with a budget of about $1 million. So pretty good budget on this one for, small horror movie from 82. So we had Donald Pleasence playing the head, doctor at this psychiatric hospital where they house, some regular insane people, and then they had some criminally insane people. And the new doctor in town that was played by Dwight Schultz is Dr. Dan Potter, and he gets tasked with the third floor, which is the criminally insane people. Well, they don't take kindly to the new doctor, because they really enjoyed their old doctor, and in their crazy mind they think that his arrival means that he killed the old doctor, and that's what they think happened. So they want to get revenge on the new doctor, and so yeah, they start plotting and planning on going to murder the new doctor.
This is a very serious situation.
They just need a way to get past the security, and what better than a roaming blackout? It knocks the power to the whole city and sets forth, a bunch of riots and this and that. And, well, the prisoners are able to escape. The bad guys in this movie, the escaped prisoners, there's 4 of them. And they're led by, Frank Hawks. That's played by Jack Palance. And he's a former POW. And he's the kind of the ringleader of the group. And then you have Martin Landau, who stole the show, really. He was so, good with all his facial expressions, acting crazy. He played a preacher who was a pyromaniac. He would set churches on fire with the people in them. And then you had this real big guy, Erland Van Lith was his name. Never heard of the guy. But Roland Fatty Elster was his character's title. And he's just this big child molester who has like superhuman strength. And he was one of the scarier characters in a way, because, they really made him like OP on the strength. This guy was a beast. And then finally you had Philip Clark, who played the Bleeder, who's a serial killer, who they kind of made out to be like the, who would be the scariest and the most wild. But honestly, he didn't seem to be that bad to me. I don't know. You don't really see his face, and in the poster and stuff, he's the one that puts on the hockey mask. He's supposed to be like sort of a normal guy until his nose starts bleeding, then he freaks out and starts killing people. Yeah, all the bad guys in this movie, they had a lot of personality, and that was nice, because they really carried the movie. Donald Pleasance was also good in his scenes. Of course, anything he says, you kind of, it just sounds so profound. It's, it sounds like a nugget of wisdom. And I kind of thought that he would play sort of that Dr. Loomis character. Because it's so, close to him doing the Halloween movies. And just, he's basically playing the same thing. A psychiatric doctor. He ends up being like sort of a goofier character, really. The more he talks, the more he went on, you wonder if he wasn't crazy. But he was funny. What he said was either really like a nugget of wisdom, or he was just kind of goofy. I kind of wish there was more scenes with him in the movie. He's in it a good bit, but not as much as I would like. And the movie does a real good job with suspense. It's a thriller. It does have a decent body count to it, but primarily it's a home invasion type movie. And they do a real good job with suspense and making it feel, the tension. They also did a good job of filming the movie and not having everything be pitch black the way that they would have done it if it was filmed today. Here in this movie, it's called Alone in the Dark, and you know that there's a blackout, and you see them lighting candles, but yet every scene is lit up enough that you can see everything going on in the scene. If it was filmed today, it would have been pitch black. You would have only seen their faces, and it would be just a nightmare to watch. I hate those types of movies. I don't know why they started filming them that way. Everything doesn't have to be totally dark for me to know that it's dark. Just tell me it's dark, and I can go from there. This movie, they put like a sort of a bluish tone to things when it was dark. And there you go. That tells you it's dark. There is a big plot twist in the movie that I saw coming, and I'm pretty bad at spotting these. I hear a lot of people, they always tell you, oh man, I saw that coming from, 5 minutes into the movie. I never see them coming. I usually don't. I don't see anything coming hardly. I did see this one coming though. This one, not real early on. Some people will probably get it before me, but There is a plot twist. I'm not going to spoil anything though, but pretty interesting. Definitely added to the suspense of the movie. One of my complaints probably would be the kills were kind of boring, kind of basic, not that exciting, not that creative, kind of very standard, and not a lot of gore to it, not that creative. I wish that would have been upped a little bit, if the special effects would have, kicked in and had, better blood, better effects. But, we didn't really get that in this one. The 2K scan looked really nice. I'm sure the original copy of the movie was probably in pretty rough shape. I've never seen this movie before, so I don't have anything really to compare it to. Of course, it was on VHS, and then it had an earlier DVD release. And I'm sure they were both, pretty bad. They did a good job on this. A little bit of grain here and there. Not too much. Definitely some softness in the movie at times, and that's okay. It's to be expected. It's really just from the source material. But overall, I think it looked, pretty good for an older movie. A nice 2K scan that Scream Factory did. It would have been nice to have gotten a little more atmospheric audio, a little, because the movie is so creepy and a lot of suspense and tension that builds. It would have been nice to have had, I'm not going to say an Atmos track, but just if they would have played with the surround sounds, the different channels a little bit more. But they really didn't. It was a pretty front-heavy movie. Nothing real special or exciting for the theater people. Soundbar people are going to be just fine with this one. You're pretty much getting that same experience that I had, because it was really just very front-loaded. But that's okay too. I mean, it is what it is sometimes. The special features on here are pretty cool as well. There's some new ones. Scream Factory usually does a great job on this. There's an interview with the director, Jack Shoulder, and there's also a commentary track from Jack Shoulder on here as well. There's a new interview with actress Carol Levy, who played Bucky in the movie. That was the babysitter. And there's also a film locations feature in this one as well. That's worth checking out. So there's a lot of cool stuff in there. Definitely worth picking up. It was a good movie, not a great movie, but it was good. It was a great one-time watch. The rewatchability on it was a little bit low, but I do think it had some rewatchability to it. I don't know how often I'll come back to this one. Maybe every 5 or 6 years. Or if someone's like, hey, what else has Donald Pleasance been in, besides Prince of Darkness and Halloween. This is something you could show people. And it's definitely, if you like suspense, if you like thrillers, if you like home invasion type stuff, this is a good one. So I do recommend this movie. Everyone should go watch it. And going forward, would you guys like to see me do like a rating system for these movies? I don't know. I've just never been a big fan of it, but if you guys want it, I think it's popular. I'll try to come up with some kind of a rating system if that's what you guys want, if it matters to you. Let me know in the comments if you care at all about rating systems. Well, I think that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. And until next time, have fun, stay safe, keep watching those movies. Alone in the Dark.